Hi there guys, Journey here, and today we're just gonna be talking a little bit about the new incoming meta of OP08 decks that I think that are gonna be the most representative and that we're gonna see around like locals and regionals and stuff like that. So for starting, after the ban list that we just got the Law and the Inish Lobby ban, a couple of decks are raising up in popularity, like the Reiju and Bunny. So let's start with Bunny, a deck that I think is going to be one of the best decks right now in OP08. With the new cards adding like the new Carrot and the new Electrical Luna, this deck is gonna be able to stalk your opponent characters and leave them rested. This deck have really good matchups against Whitebeard Luffy, Lucci, and Enel, and really bad matchups against Boa, Dofi, and other decks that are like fast, like Zoro, or even Shanks in the future. Another deck that is going to be really good in OP08 is going to be by Luffy. With the ban list not hitting Moria or Sabo, this deck still pretty powerful. A really tier 1 contender. With his combos and lines being one of the hardest to play, this deck give the pilot too many reasons to keep playing it. So let's go now to the best matchups of this deck. First, this deck have a really good matchup against Rob Lucci, one of the tier 1 decks. Second, it's gonna be Nami, one of the other decks that right now is getting a lot of popularity. And lastly, Moria, another deck that is been really topping lately, but at the same time you have a really bad matchup against this deck. So the bad matchups are gonna be Bonnie, Dofi, and Boa. Three decks that two of them are not in cycle at the moment, but we're expecting to see them really soon. So let's go to the last deck. And our last deck of these three decks that I think they're gonna be the best ones is gonna be Lucci. Lucci, even though he lost his in his lobby, still a pretty good deck in OP08. With the addition of the new Who's Who and the new Jack, the deck can still function like normal. Lucci have really good matchups against Zoro, Katakuri, and Boa. I think this deck still have a really good matchups against almost every deck if you know how to counter the meta. So bad matchups on this deck are gonna be by Luffy, Bunny, and other decks that can abuse Sabo. But yeah, this is for me the top 3 decks at the moment. Now let's start talking about the new decks that are coming in. So let's start with the Queen of East Blue, Nami. As we saw, Nami's been topping a lot of regionals, and now that he lost her worst matchup, that it was RP Law, this deck is more powerful than ever. With a unique effect and a unique leader, this deck can make you win or lose if you don't know the matchups. Really interesting deck, really powerful, and really cheap to make. I would recommend if you're like a veteran player or a person that knows how to play the meta to run this deck. Even though a lot of people hate it, I think it's a really unique deck and a deck that you need to respect. Now, let's go with the second deck that has been getting a lot of popularity lately after RP Law got banned. And this is gonna be Reiju, another deck that is really combo heavy and a deck that have really good ins and outs. Reiju, that is getting new support in OP08 with the Black Maria. It have really good matchups, and it doesn't lose anything. A deck that is really fun to play, and a deck that is really fast to play. Another deck that I will recommend anybody that is starting to play the game and wants to play a deck that is fun and combo heavy. And let's start talking about another deck that is coming now in OP08 that is gonna be Kalgara. A deck that is really fun, really aggressive, and is basically if Zoro and Katakuri will together in one deck. I think these decks are gonna be really meta defined in the future. So I don't want to take more of your time, and I also don't want to spoil any more things for the future. We can just do another video another time when 8.5 gets more near us. That way we can talk about other decks like Luffy and how the meta is gonna change. That's gonna be for me today. Again, thank you for watching, and see you guys later.